Welcome back to Make Me a Fan. I'm the Jag.
I'm Pete.
And today we are joined by one of the most prolific and gifted talents in all of Southern California. We're talking about Mr. Well, before we call him by his government name, we got to call him by his many nicknames. We got the SoCal resident redneck, the Backwoods Brawler himself, Mr. Hunter Freeman. Hunter, how you doing, buddy?
Boys, let me tell you, it is an honor to be on the show with you guys. I watch all the videos, watch all the reviews. I love it. And for that, guys, I got to say, swig a beer for the both of you. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, I appreciate that. Now, I was going to say who should be the Ground Zero champion, Hunter Freeman, but we'll get to that in a second because there's some backstory there. But I understand you wrestled, was it last weekend or weekend before at the Level Up show? How was it wrestling again after so long?
Anyway, yeah, we wrestled last weekend for the healthcare workers down here in San Diego. And, you know, it was good to finally, you know, be back in the ring. It was totally, you know, all the COVID-19 precautions. You know, we wrestled in face masks. You know, there was maybe like a total of probably 5 to 6 people there, and everybody was keeping the whole 6 feet minimum. You know, we had a medical team there. They were taking our temperatures. I mean, they were taking all the precautions, you know, and it was just good just to finally be back in the ring. We opened up training back at Level Up. I think I jumped back in the ring after this long hiatus of 3 months. We jumped in it probably about 3 weeks.
All right.
And trying to get back in the swing of things.
How have you been staying in shape over this break period? Have you been hitting the gym or just doing a lot of running, calisthenics?
Been a lot of like little home workouts because my job where I work at, my shoe job, kind of keeps me in shape. So I still have to do like PT and stuff like that while I'm there for that. So luckily it wasn't too much, but I tell you guys, outer ring working out is a whole lot different from in-ring workouts, 100%. So it was killer.
You mentioned PT, staying in shape with PT, which is, of course, physical training. That's a military term, and we know that you're a Marine, or it says on your profile, USMC. So I wasn't sure if you were still in or if you'd gotten out. So it sounds like if you're PT in, you're still in. So how long have you been in the military so far?
No, actually, I'm out. I got out in 2017, but I still work for the government. I still work for the military. I'm a civilian employee. So
very cool.
Yeah, so I'm still working for Uncle Sam, you know, still doing the thing, looking out for the troops and whatnot, and just doing it on the civilian side now, not in the active duty ranks. But it's yeah, I did.
That retirement built up, right?
Oh yeah, man. You know, 100%, man. Got to get it where I can. But yeah, I did. I got out in 2017, so that's when I got done with the Marine Corps.
Okay. Well, I had a question for you because also on your profile it says Japan training. So tell me about your training in Japan. Were you stationed over there, and how did you get started training in Japan?
So, funny story. I was in Japan. We just came back, and so I had to go, and I was told, you know, I need to get a hobby, right? So I was told to get a hobby, and I was walking down the streets of Japan one day, and I saw this flyer for this show, and so I went to it. And so I went to this Japanese, it was a Japanese indie show is what it was. It wasn't New Japan, it wasn't All Japan, it was an indie show in Japan. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went to it, and loved the show, thought it was great, and something just clicked inside of me and just was like, you could do this. Like, this is the hobby. I was just gonna do it as a hobby, just like keep in shape. You know, I've always been a fan. So I went up to one of the guys afterwards, and I had a friend of mine who spoke fluent Japanese with me. She talked to the guy for me, and I wanted to ask about, you know, starting training and different things like that. And so they said, be here Wednesday night. Be here Wednesday night and workout clothes. I said, okay. I showed up that Wednesday and got my ass beat. I thought I got my ass beat, guys. Like, I'd never done. And this is like me being in tip-top shape from the military.
Yeah.
This is me being in like tip-top shape from the military too. So I go in and I haven't done so many squats in my entire life. Like my legs were on fire. And again, I'm in good shape too, but it was a whole nother ball game. And then, you know, when you first start learning rolls and different things like that, you know, you think you start in the ring, right? Nah, we started rolling on a hardwood floor. So if you don't tuck your chin and things like that, like, you know, like the basics, you're going to hit your head on this floor. So it was a good, solid, like, I trained there for a good year and a half, almost 2 years before they let me have my debut match. And they let me, just because I was getting ready to leave. I was getting ready to leave Japan, and the guy, you know, he was like, he saw me, I was there every Wednesday. I worked my ass off, and after that year and a half, it was about a year and a half, he said, okay, give you match, no pay. I said, very well. So I got to say I got to wrestle in Japan, got trained out there, and then, you know, I got stationed out here in San Diego, and then that's when I just started, you know, finding schools out here because it was something I wanted to continue to do. So, and, you know, the rest is history from there.
Awesome, man. Now, Pete, you got a couple questions?
So, growing up in Georgia, did you ever go to any indie shows or anything, since you were kind of between Savannah and Atlanta, and, you know, and did you get to see anything while you were growing up?
So funny story. I didn't go to a lot of indie shows, but I remember being right near Macon. I was at the WCW Nitro when Nitro got taken over by the NWO. I was at that.
That's
one.
awesome. That's awesome.
I was at that show. And then a couple years later, I went to a WWE Raw, and that was the night that The Rock Bottom, Davey Boy, Bulldog, and the dog shit, and the dog food.
That's fantastic. I went to the In Your House in Omaha. It was the last show before Razor Ramon and Diesel left for WCW and showed up on Monday Nitro. And like I was like, wait, I just saw these guys like wrestle on a WWF show, and then now they're on Nitro. I'm like, what's going on here?
Well, you know where they when they left Raw, they left WWE, and then the next Nitro they were in Macon. That was an exact year before I went to that show. It was a year ahead of time. It was in Macon, Georgia. So I always tell people, like, hey, Georgia's where the Monday Night War started, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
That's awesome, dude. It sounds like you're a student of the game. So I got to ask you the question that we ask everyone, okay? Question number one is, if you could wrestle anybody, past, present, future, you could have any opponent, who would it be and why?
Oh, man. All right, so... Man, I have so many, but if I had to decide, just because he's my favorite wrestler, top three. Okay, top three. I can do that. One, I'd want to wrestle Jake Roberts, Jake the Snake. I feel like I would learn so much from him. I would want to get in a brawl with Stone Cold and get my ass kicked. Just because that's like, we all have that inner mark, right? So that's like the inner mark coming out of me. And man, number three, just because I'm such a fan of it now. You know, I would love to have a match with Rey Mysterio, and you know, that would be a cool thing. Just because I like doing lucha. And I would always say, like, my top two lucha guys was always Ray and Psychosis. So, and I've actually got the chance to meet both of those guys.
That is awesome.
We just watched
being able to
Psychosis from ECW One Night Stand, and it just blew Jag's mind.
Dude, was it not? Those guys, man, like, it's crazy because you guys know at Level Up, Dominic, you know, he trains there with us.
Of course.
And there's nights that, you know, sometimes, you know, he'll show up and he's so, man, like, you know, you're kind of starstruck when you see him at first, you know, but then, like, when he gets in there and he gets in the ring with you and he's working with you and things like that, it's just, you know, it's crazy. You know, it's like, I used to watch you, like, when I was a kid, and now I'm, like, in the ring, like, locking up with him, rolling around with him, different things like that, you know. But I mean, it's no secret, like, where they train at, and, you know, different things like that. But you know, it's good things are coming out of there. I think good things are coming out all San Diego. So
that's awesome. Okay, so now here's a similar question. Tag team partner. If you could tag with anybody, who would you choose to be your tag team partner?
Oh, I'd fight him, then I'd want to tag with him. I'd probably say Stone Cold. He'd be a pretty badass tag partner. Although if I had the opportunity to be in a 6-man match, I'd always want to tag with the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom. They're so badass, man. They were.
I got to meet Animal.
LOD.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Animal was amazing. Like, I grew up in the Midwest, so for me, and him being in Minneapolis and raising his kids in Minneapolis, I could have seen him being the quartermaster in our scout troop. I mean, like, he was like that kind of guy, like that kind of dad. And I was just this is, I mean, he just loves football. Obviously, his son plays a ton of football. So, like, all these things that are in common, it's just like, dude, this could have been like one of my dad's friends. I just thought he was the coolest.
That's crazy.
That is awesome.
Good things, man.
So I got one last question, then I'll turn it over to Pete.
Okay.
Tell me about the hat. I know when the hat turns to the back, it's butt whooping time. Where did the hat come from, and what is the significance of turning it around the back? It's almost like over the top, right? When he turns the hat around, it's serious business. That might be an old movie reference. I don't know. You're a young guy, but where did the hat come from? Tell me about it.
So it definitely comes from Over the Top. Yeah, it's 100% from Over the Top. Over the Top is one of my top Stallone movies, even though it's like not his best.
Well, Cobra's his best movie that he ever did, just bar none. I'm telling you.
Get out of here.
I love watching Cobra though. It's so horrible.
Yeah, like it's definitely Over the Top because that's just what I was thinking. You know, I always wear a hat. Like you hardly ever see me without a hat on. I'm always wearing a hat. Those where it was just like, you know, I think that fits. You know, because when you watch the movie, when it got down to brass tacks and it was time to freaking, you know, put your money where your mouth is and get the job, you flip. It's like flipping a switch. You know, like outside the ring or a match, I could be one to kiss your babies, hug you, shake your hand. I don't care if I like you, don't like you, you know, whatever. I'm still gonna be respectful, you know. But it's like when you get in the ring and the bell rings, the hat turns around. It's like, okay, now it's split up or shut up time. It's time to go to work. You know what I mean? And that's usually what I say. It's time to go to work. You know what I mean? So.
Look, man, the hat was so cool because I'm relatively new to Ground Zero, and so I've been to maybe 2 or 3 shows, I think, at this point. And the first time I was like, oh, the hat, that's kind of cool. Second time I was like, hell yeah, he's turning the hat around. The third time somebody knocked it off, I was like, what are you doing to the hat? You know what I mean? So I totally was bought into it, and I was like, don't mess with my man. So that was a cool feature for me to kind of get into what was happening in the ring and really root for you. It's like, oh man, he's turning the hat around. It's gonna work. So that works for me. And of course, I know Pete had some questions, and I think he was gonna ask about that son of a biscuit, Andy Brown. But Pete, your turn, my friend.
Well, that's the one I was going to turn it to. Is like we know you have this long-standing feud with Andy Brown. When are you gonna wrestle him again, and can you beat him? I guess is the real question, because we've seen this go back and forth, and it's a mess. But what are you gonna do to beat Andy Brown the next time you wrestle him?
Well, I've already proven that I can beat Andy. People have seen that, you know, and if you guys know from the last match, you know, Justin Borden, he was just saying wrong place, wrong time. I can't be mad at him because, again, yeah, I kicked him, but Andy pulled him in the way. So what do you expect? What do you expect from Andy? So as far as when I'll get my hands on him, you know, whenever Ground Zero decides to, you know, start running again, B-Boy, you know, we have no clue. We really don't know just because of the whole COVID thing going on. So this is kind of, you know, taking a hit towards everybody. You know, a lot of my wrestling friends out there, you know, not being able to work. The thing with Santino shutting down, you know, a lot of those guys are my friends. You know, it just kind of really hit us hard, man. This COVID hit us hard. So being able to like finally jump back in, and I think it won't be, you know, until, you know, like a vaccine gets created or something like that. But, you know, I would definitely say, you know, B-Boy, he has a plan, and he'll, whenever Ground Zero gets kicking back up, I'm sure, you know, if I got to start all over again, if I got to win a Rumble, if I got to win a briefcase match, I don't give a shit, just as long as I get my hands on Andy Brown. So,
well, we're 100% behind you. We see you as the champ. I mean, you're the uncrowned champion, you know.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys being there, for real, and doing the reviews, and you know, I definitely watch them. So I appreciate the prolific. How do you say it? Prolific and gifted. Getting that award.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, you are officially prolific and gifted. You're one of the first people that I bestowed the patented prolific and gifted badge upon, because man, that first match with Andy Brown had me coming out of my seat, and everything from the hat to the gentlemanly manners. A veteran, you know, I'm an Army guy, but I got respect for the Marines. So I was like, yo, I like this guy, and I'm gonna ride for you, man. So I love what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing in the ring, what you do outside of the ring, and I'm a fan. So the show has made me a fan, and you made me a fan. So that's gonna do it for us, right, Pete? So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your candid answers. And if you are watching this right now and you don't know who Hunter Freeman is, you better ask somebody, because this guy is on an upward trajectory of prolific and giftedness. Level Up's own, Ground Zero's own, in my opinion, and Pete's opinion, the hearts and minds of the fans, he is the people's champion of Level Up and of Ground Zero. And if you give him a chance, he's going to take that boot, that right hand, he's going to turn that hat backwards, and he's going to stick his foot where the sun don't shine on Andy Brown, and he's going to walk away with that championship belt. That's what the hell I think. That's what the Encyclopedia thinks. And if you have a problem with that, you can see me in the crowd, because my butt will be in the seat with a hug, a handshake, a high five. I might even bring you a prolific and gifted t-shirt. So that's going to do it for Make Me a Fan. That's going to do it for us today. Hunter Freeman is amazing, and I can't wait to see you at the next show. I'm glad wrestling's coming back, and I'm excited. Keep drinking those beers, keep toasting, and we'll see you next time, my friend. Thank you, Hunter.